We'll do that. Sounds good. We are live now. It's been probably about 2 or 3 weeks, but we wanted to come on here, talk a little bit about what's new with us, what God's been doing in our life, things like that. So it'll be a little bit shorter, but that's okay. Hopefully it's short and sweet. So I would say for me, a couple things I wanted to mention off the bat would be I was able to lead a soul to Christ. I think it was last week, Sunday night. That was pretty cool. And it was a guy that I've seen come to church a couple times before, and his mom comes more regularly, but I guess he raised his hand at the end of the service and admitted that he didn't know if he was on his way to heaven. And then after the service, my dad, who's the pastor, came up to me and said, "Hey, can you show this guy how he can know he's on his way to heaven?" I said, "Yeah." I was able to take a gospel tract, take him into the auditorium, and show him how he can know he's on his way to heaven. And something like it seemed like to him, it seemed like he knew a lot of what we had already talked about, which is cool. But he was pretty much, ready to accept Christ. It was a little bit easy, I guess, in a way, which was really awesome. And then he was able to pray that prayer, and we asked him a couple questions at the end, like we always do, and he answered them like he should have, which was encouraging, and hoping to get him to come out to church on Wednesday nights for the Pursuit of Truth and coming to church more regularly so we can help him out. I guess discipleship, things like that would be good. So yeah, you can pray for this guy, and yeah, just praising the Lord for that opportunity.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's always great when opportunities are handed to you,
Yeah, literally.
because obviously, like, witnessing isn't always our first option. When it comes to just something that's natural, comes naturally. It doesn't come
Yeah,
naturally to most of us, so it's not something we always pursue. But I think when opportunities are handed to you, I think that it's just special because it's like God knows what He's doing, and He kind of wants you to get a blessing, and so you can obviously
yeah.
walk away from that. But it's great. It's not something you have to go out of your way to create. So, anyways, yeah, that's cool. Any quick thoughts on, like, I would just say, like, on sharing the gospel, anything, maybe any kind of pointers, what you did, things that helped you as you gave the gospel, um,
Hmm.
anything like that you want to share real quick?
Yeah, I was available and ready and willing to do it.
Sure.
And I guess in a way, ready, it's like, well, what does it mean to be ready? I feel like you just got to be available pretty
Sure.
much. So I was just there, I was available, and I guess I was ready in the sense that I had a plan, and my plan was to get a gospel tract and just basically walk him through that, talk about the different points, go over the verses that are in there, and ask him a couple questions at the end, see if we'll accept Christ as Savior. So
Yeah.
that to me would be my advice. Basically, having a plan, being available, being willing, paying attention, being aware of people that might need you to share that with them. And yeah, that's my plan. That's what I do. I like we
Sure.
talked about earlier
Sure.
today. That's what helps me. That's what or I guess I should say that that's what works best for me. Being able to just go through a track with somebody.
That's good.
I don't
Yeah.
really have as much memorized like you might or other people, but that's what works for me.
No, that's awesome. It helps, just as you're thinking through, like, hey, if you had an opportunity, what would you do? What's
Yeah, you
what's
gotta
your
know.
plan? And so that's good. No, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
I basically, what God's doing in my life is actually kind of similar to that. And I was reading my Bible this week and came across I'm in the book of John right now, in the Gospels, going through the Gospels, and John 6 talks about, in the beginning of the chapter, it talks about the feeding of the 5,000 and the miracle God did there, and breaking the bread and multiplying it and the fish there. And essentially, just the thought is like, the God used the lad and the lunch that the lad had, and to feed obviously the 5,000. And he didn't ask the lad, "Hey, go out shopping," or, "Hey, go tell your mom to make more food," anything like that. Essentially, what he did is he said, "Hey, this is what
Okay.
you have. Awesome. I'm going to use that." Now, God could obviously create stuff out of thin air, if he really wanted to. But I think it's
Hmm.
neat that what God did is he used what the lad had, and he just simply multiplied it. What the lad
Yeah.
had wouldn't have made a dent, in and of itself. 5 loaves and two fishes, right?
Yeah.
Five and two.
Yeah.
um, and so, but it wouldn't have made a dent, for 5,000 people. And so, And I was thinking about other times in the Bible where individuals literally God just used what they had, and you think about David and Goliath, and obviously Goliath is an incredible giant, and this
Mm,
feat of just impossibility standing in front of him. And God's like, no, that's okay. I can still use you. What do you got? And Dave's like, well, a sling and 5 stones. And God's like, perfect. I'm going to use that.
yeah.
Obviously, I'm adding, but I'm just saying, like, the fact of the matter is he didn't need the armor that Saul was trying to give him. He needed what he had. And so all of this is important because when we look at ourselves and we look at even something like a gospel opportunity, or we look at it, an opportunity to just maybe share a word of encouragement to somebody, or to be a blessing, or to take action in an area of our life where we're weak, or whatever the situation is. It's like God's not asking you to go and become something great and to gain all this information, and to be something status wise. He really just wants what you have to offer him. And so that's
Mhm.
important because it allows us to be open and vulnerable,
And we can all
and
be
and
used
we can all
for
be
that
used.
too.
The playing field is very even at that point. And so it's not about, we look at people in ministry, we look at people just in life that are really seeing things happen successfully. They're successful individuals, they're making money, whatever it is. Okay, we all have different heroes we look up to. The fact of the matter is um, we look at that, and the greatest ability to have is availability. God doesn't call those who are already equipped. He equips the call. You probably have heard that before. I don't know, maybe not, but that's an incredible thought, that God's not looking for you to be perfect. He actually wants to use what you have. So I'm saying that to say that the playing field is level. Okay, it's even. It's just taking advantage and taking the opportunities that God gives you, and just watching Him multiply that. And so again, it's not you. It's not like God could have used anybody in that story. He could have used another individual that had food. Okay, but the fact of the matter is that lab was like, absolutely, I have food. You want to use it? Sure, go for it. And so, that being said, I've already said it, but the playing field is level. So I've been encouraged by that this week. Shared that actually a little bit today in our outreach. We had outreach Sunday, so I was sharing that today in the service. So, anyways, so that's something I'm learning. Kind of applies to what you said, in that just got to be ready, be available
Yeah.
for opportunities, taking advantage of that, being just aware, really, and alert. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, that's good.
so yeah,
I was gonna say something like I think I forgot what it was, but let me think if I can think of it. Mm, I'm not sure. I
along
think
the
I
lines
think
of
I
what
was
I said.
gonna say when it comes to like being available and all that,
Yeah,
if if God just wants our heart and He wants us to be available, then we can all be used. And I think that's to me the most significant thing about that, because I think that it can be often that people, myself included, we just don't feel qualified, or we don't feel like, man, I just don't feel like God can use me right now. But if you understand that God just wants you to be willing and available, then it's like, hey, anyone can be used. You don't have to say all the right things or know everything. You
right.
just gotta have the relationship with Him and be willing to go where He says to go, and follow Him, and be a witness for Him, things like that. So
Yeah,
it makes the playing field very level. Like God can literally use He can literally use anyone. You just have to be willing. So
yeah.
so yeah.
No, it's good. It's
Thanks, Chuck.
encouraging. Yep. Thanks.
Thanks, Chuck.
Appreciate it.
Good stuff,
Um,
man. Yeah.
yeah.
So, by the way, we're gonna be launching another podcast episode next weekend. Should be around Saturday, Sunday. So that's exciting. It's gonna be the one with Pastor Chuck. So that'll be exciting. Excited
Yeah.
about that. Get some reels from that too, to try to help people out, give them some content in that way. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Stay tuned for that. That'll be coming out.
yeah, that'll be good. I like that conversation. It's always good being able to have podcast episodes with people. So I was gonna ask you like anything else specifically you feel like God's been teaching you, or would you say that's
I
like
think
what
it could
you've
be
been taking away?
summarized, just in general. It could be summarized in just taking action and different opportunities that God's giving me. And I say that, I don't just mean it to be generic. I say it like specifically. There's areas in my life, and some of it's just areas that I need to grow in and stuff. So it's not all like ministry related. We talk about a lot of
Sure.
ministry stuff because we're in ministry, and I think that ultimately what we do should be, but the most important thing that we do should be our relationship with God, and how we let that affect others, whether or not we're in ministry. Obviously, full time, it doesn't matter. But I'm just
Right.
saying it to say, like, I think that um, what I'm learning is more than just ministry related. It's actually personal things. So, yeah, just taking action, taking opportunities when they come, and just letting God use what you got. So
Yeah, yeah, that's good.
it's been encouraging.
I
Yep.
mean, I found what you said to be true when it comes to God multiplying what you have. Like, there's been times where I feel like I don't have a whole lot, but then I would just be willing, be obedient, take that step of faith, and do whatever I feel like God's wanting me to do. And then I was able to be used in a greater way than I thought was possible. And God definitely multiplied my efforts, which was really cool to see. I've seen Him do that many, many times. So
Yeah.
it's real.
Yeah.
It's been real for me.
Good. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it for me. Hopefully, you guys
Yeah.
are listening and getting some value from all of this. And if you guys have any questions, we mentioned it before. This is our heart cry that you guys would just reach out. We want to be a blessing to you all. We want to add value if we can in any way. So if you guys have any questions or concerns or whatever it is, whatever you're going through, just DM us, and we love to chat. So,
Yeah.
Dave, anything else?
Sounds good. I would just say to stay faithful. That's something I've been learning, just staying faithful with what I know I need to do as far as work, business, church, ministry, youth group, all of that. It's been harder, it's been more difficult, but this year, like, it's been harder and more difficult, but I've seen that if I'm just staying faithful, then God will handle the rest, and
Hmm.
things are going to work out as long as I do my best before God. So just
Yeah,
keep pressing on, no matter how you feel. Just keep doing what you know you need to do.
awesome, good stuff.
All right, have a good rest of your day,
All
people.
right, guys, take care. Thanks for joining. Switch. Who's that? And if anybody's on YouTube, thanks for joining. We'll see you soon.